The Canadian government has pledged billions to modernize the Navy. Advanced military ships come with a hefty price tag. But according to a CBC News investigation, for a new fleet of Arctic patrol vessels, Canada is paying far more than other countries. And so far, there's no clear explanation why. The CBC's Terry Milewski has more on this story. Terry.
Well, Peter, the Harper government holds up its shipbuilding program as a model procurement. But industry experts say they're stunned to find that Ottawa is paying 3 times more just to design its ships than other countries are paying to actually build them. It is 6 years since the government decided to build a fleet of Arctic offshore patrol ships. But this is not one of them. Canada hasn't even started building them, and this is just the parent design, a Norwegian ship called the Svalbard. And it turns out that Norway built it for far less than Canada is paying just for the blueprints for its version.
The largest single hardware investment ever undertaken by the Government of Canada.
It is expensive. The government announced in March it will pay $288 million to Irving Shipyards in Halifax just to design the new ships. Irving says it's good value, but other shipyards say the design should cost only 1/10 of that. Defense Minister Peter MacKay says they're wrong.
Other shipyards are wrong.
MacKay has not explained, though, why Ottawa's paying so much. We found that the Norwegians paid less than $100 million for their ship, the Danes paid $105 million for 2 ships, and the Irish are building 2 for $125 million. So, why is Canada paying $288 million just for a design?
I'm not conversant with what other countries do.
Today, ministers could not explain the huge difference, and it's even harder to explain when the basic design is already known. In fact, the government bought these blueprints of the Norwegian ship as a starting point for the Canadian one. Experts say it might cost $10 or $20 million to adapt the plans to Canada's needs, but why the extra $250 million?
I would refer you to officials because there's sometimes commercially sensitive information, but I believe they can share with you some of the information.
As it turned out, officials were not able to say where the money is going. The opposition is suspicious.
Somebody's got to have a look at this because we're talking about something that, based on what your investigation shows, is so out of line with what other countries are doing for similar products in terms of design that it's beyond comprehension.
Maybe not. One theory is it's a hidden subsidy to the industry. The defense minister didn't call it that, but
I suspect that there is a premium. To answer your question, to some degree, because we're building them in Canada, but that means Canadian jobs.
We simply don't have the skills in Canada.
But naval expert Ken Hansen says that in the short run, many of the jobs won't be in Canada because the expertise doesn't exist here.
We've been dormant here for better than 2 decades now. We don't have the skill sets inside the industry.
Now, it is clear the government will have to build up the shipbuilding industry to get the ships built in Canada, but we still don't know exactly why a design would cost 10 times more here than it does anywhere else. Besides that, Irving Shipyard says it has to outsource the key design jobs. They will be in Denmark. Peter.
Terry's outside the House of Commons in Ottawa tonight. Thank you, Terry.